Congressman Jeff Miller weighed in on the oil spill today. He says BP needs to hurry up and have the well capped before August, or at least minimize the flow.
What they've done so far is to try to trap everything, which is the best option. But if they can't do that, then do what's next best.
Miller says for now, offshore drilling in new areas should not be an option until we know the cause of the Deepwater Horizon explosion. Political strategist James Carville is living up to his name, the Ragin' Cajun. The Democrat has been vocalizing his frustration over government's response to the Gulf oil spill. While speaking on CNN this weekend, the Louisiana native even lashed out at our area.
And I want to get you and show you what's happened to us, what they have done to us. And you know good and well. We had on a rival network, somebody says, well, if this thing hits Pensacola Beach, that's going to be a real tragedy. They don't produce anything off of Pensacola Beach. We are the highest quality seafood area in the world.
Sounds like fighting words there, huh? Well, I sat down for a lengthy conversation with Congressman Jeff Miller this afternoon and got his reaction to Carville's swipe at Pensacola Beach.
We are the place that his people come to vacation, but they're going to come to Perdido and Pensacola and the Bar and Destin. The thing is, they have lived off the revenue that these rigs have produced for the state of Louisiana for decades. Now it's come to bite them, and they begin to lash out at other people.
Congressman Miller says Carville needs to rein in the rhetoric and realize that we're all in this together.
The BP oil spill now threatening the beaches of Pensacola, Florida. And here with some reaction this morning, Congressman Jeff Miller is a Republican from Florida whose district includes some of those beaches. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I want to get to this request you've made that BP provide up to $1 billion in this escrow account so that some local governments and businesses can draw on it. They have ads in the paper every day saying they're going to make this right. What is different about the request you've made of them?
Well, I made a request very early on in this tragedy, if you will, along the Gulf Coast, and it was basically to ensure not only local governments but state governments and private individuals that the money would be there in an escrow account that they could be able to draw on and not just hope that BP would do what is right. So far, I think they're doing the right thing by writing checks to individuals who have suffered because of the loss in economics here along the Gulf Coast. But you know, this thing's going to drag out an awful long time, and people said in the beginning that $1 billion was too much money. Well, they've now spent over $1 billion in both trying to cap and clean up this spill.
When you say a long time, what do you think how long do you think this is going to last, and why?
You know, I'm afraid this is going to be really decades. You know, the initial capping, obviously everybody continues to be hopeful that BP will be able to cap that wellhead site, and then of course to clean up. And as the tides along the Gulf Coast continue to fluctuate and move in and out, I'm afraid that we are going to see residue from the oil spill for years to come.
You've taken a flyover with Admiral Fallon, yes? Alan?
Yes, I flew over the site with 3 senators about 3 weeks ago. In fact, I'm going to try and do a flyover again with the Coast Guard tomorrow as the sheen and the oil begins to move towards the northwest Florida area, just to see exactly what the distances are out in the Gulf from the coastal areas.
We think it's about 7 miles so far, right, today?
Yeah, they're from 7 miles, and then some of the captains have said that they have found large quantities of the oil in the tar mats out at 30 miles to 80 miles, and of course the sheen, the original front line of this spill, is very, very close to the Florida shores, and those of us in northwest Florida are watching it very closely.
I mean, you got some weather behind you, it looks like, as we look at lightning strikes over your shoulder. For the time we've got you, what is the impact going to be on tourism?
Well, the impact has already been pretty bad on tourism in northwest Florida. The Memorial Day weekend was a good weekend along the beaches of northwest Florida, but because of the national media coverage and the international media coverage, we have had thousands of people cancel reservations, and of course our season runs through August into September, and we're having people that are calling now and saying, look, we're not going to risk it. We have 1 week to vacation. We're going to make reservations somewhere else, and I think it's going to be an economic disaster here for those that make their living in the tourist industry.
When you talk to other public officials, do you guys have a consensus on how it should be contained, either below the surface or at the coastline? Are there solutions that BP has not yet employed that you think are legitimate?
I think the experts have looked at every possible way that they can. Of course, they're trying to contain as it moves closer to shore with booms and skimmers. I do know that they're having swift current skimmers brought into Perdido Pass and Pensacola Pass because of the swiftness of the water going in and out of those cuts, so that if, in fact, some of this sheen and oil does start making it towards these areas, which brings it into this intercoastal area behind me, and that's where it gets into our bays and our estuaries.
Yeah, and we've been told the booms, really, because of the waves, the wave level at where you are, booms aren't quite as effective as they might be closer to New Orleans.
Well, and that's it. They have to bring in ocean booms, which are a bigger type of boom, and basically the bottom is deeper than what you see along the shoreline of the Louisiana coast. So, yeah, the booms are not the most effective, but they are one of the tools in the process of trying to keep this from coming on shores and most definitely getting into the bays, the estuaries, and the wetlands.
Well, we're going to hope to stay in contact with you as the days and hopefully not weeks go on, Congressman. In the meantime, Admiral Allen is saying that we should know later today if the Top Hat effort is working. So we're all thinking about you. Appreciate your time on obviously a busy day.
Well, thank you very much, and we continue to be hopeful that they at least get that oil stopped at the wellhead site.
Yeah. Congressman Jeff Miller, thanks very much.